you. Good evening, Franklin County. Today is June 10th and Pledge of Allegiance.
Nation, under God, indivisible.
Doing well tonight, and anybody watching or that is with us. So give us a blessing tonight. How are you doing this evening, Ash?
I'm doing well, thank you. Oh God, Fiscal Court today, as they have unselfishly taken on this role. Guide them to seek the highest good for our county, the Kentucky River and Elkhorn, and as stewards of their health, guide of life, we presently. Amen.
Amen. Nash, thank you very much. That was beautiful. Right there. Please. How are you doing this evening?
This evening comes 2 days a week, yard waste 1 day a week. It's in for salt. Come in. So that's been about it.
Thing that you guys are out there doing. There are things you've done in the first district. Greatly appreciated.
Thanks, Squire. My county-wide, as far as keeping up, good. Well, again, like Squire Sebastian said, we appreciate everything you all do. And all right, the next is Judge's report. Appreciate everything they do for our community and working with the kids. Lunch with Dr. Acapa with the Kentucky State Unit we can do to help. I want to thank our sheriff, Depp. He's been helping with campus things when requested. Penny Beevler and her team had a quarterly employer coffee. It was had at Thornhill. That's the church. Really cool room in Thornhill. It was had good representation there. Squire Sebastian with Express Credit Union, new Holly with AT&T, Dr. Capo, and then Dr. John Ballard with the hospital. So it was a really good conversation. I appreciate them keeping it on track. We, we're down to, I think it was ended on time, and I know that's important for people, in the professional world to get back. But there was a believe it or not, I'll bring up the elephant in the room. We talked about data centers a little bit, and Holly and Gary have been on some committees learning, and this was there, and he asked the hospital, why don't back to my team and see if we can do that, because these factories run 24. So this is here, the better off we all are. So, and it's all about me. There's only 4 going for it right now in the state, but it'd be a big thing for tourism here. So, actually met with Ben. I think it was interesting because it's usually back to kind of that fair vendor, good people there, and hopefully you all got out there too. I think with the horse track getting ready for it. So as always, it's a team effort, and we appreciate that. It could be some people think you're going to take my guns away, and that's not it at all. It's more about gun safety because of that, just because of carelessness, to tell you the truth. Fundraising event at Josephine Sculpture Park. It hits her annual spot that night, but once the sun went down, it was spot on. They really the school, and somebody help me here, 93. Just really enjoyed her evening, and I gotta give props to Melanie and her team. They even put a book. They put a book together, and it showed the kids from the school being there and participating at the. Appreciate Melanie and her team and everything they do here. Boys at Franklin County, we have William Yancey. And I believe he's in the back row. Absolutely. So, yeah, we appreciate it. So he's working with Greg and his team, and we welcome him. And I believe Michelle is our new. She's not here, is she? No. She's occupational, and Summer is very happy. of our team here. Upcoming events, tomorrow night, activation is actually in the county, out Benson Valley. Graduation for Thornhill is at 6 o'clock, and that's going to be for all the GED, people that have completed. Saturday night is the second annual Simon House Bourbon Ball Gala. It's going to be at the Ashbrook this year. I think there's still some tickets available. That would be great. And then I know on the 17th, the Grand Theater is going to really kind of get a grand reopening. I know they've been working on that sign, and they've been working hard on everything that they have going on for this church. And then on the 26th is NAACP is doing on 1 Washington Street. So just a bunch of different. That is my judge's report. Head to authorization for approval of minutes from the regular meeting of May. On that agenda item. Already seeing none. So, for the water treatment,
Yes,
yes,
it's every year.
It's every year, so it's, yeah. So that's in front of us, so anybody has any, receive the treasurer's additional 2020 questions on that this year, or share?
I'm sorry, can I interrupt for just a second?
You're fine, go ahead, Squire.
I got a text just now that our online stream is not working for. We check on that real quick.
Yeah, Andrew? It's like the Wednesday night thing to do. Does anybody have any questions for Michelle on this agenda item? Actually, the next two are theirs, and then after the 2025 excess fees, we have the 2024 APA audit excess fees also. So we have two agenda items for the Sheriff's Department in front of us tonight. So any questions for either of those items? Michelle is looking forward to answering them. Squire Wisman.
I got to do it too.
I knew it.
The 2024 audit excess fees, can you just explain what that is for anybody that may think, why are we stepping back 2 years?
Well, because as you know, audits are done when the auditors can get to the audits. And when I asked the auditor the question of why do I owe the court $52, he said, it's a computer thing and I can probably never tell you. So there's your answer.
Okay. I'll trust them. Thanks.
Any other questions, concerns, comments for Michelle? Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having us.
Yep. Alrighty, next I believe our county attorney's 2025 excess fees. Anybody have any questions for Max on that agenda item? Seeing none, we'll move on to the second reading and approval of amending ordinance 7-2002 and 8-2000 series related to the fiscal court filing fees in Franklin County, Kentucky. This is something that we've talked about, so anybody have any concerns, comments, questions? This is the second reading tonight on this agenda item.
Judge,
Go ahead,
just to verify if I can, I think, Max, you told us last time already, but this is just updating for a new date. There's no changes to the fee structure or any of the policy of this ordinance, right? Or there hasn't been since the first reading, I'm assuming?
ALC wanted new signatures, and so everything stayed the same, except the signatures have been changed.
Okay.
So that's the only difference in the current ordinance as it stands with the new ordinance.
All right, any other questions on that agenda item? Next is authorization to receive the Capital Community Economic Industrial Development Authority, DBA, Kentucky Capital Development Corporation, audit financial statements June 30th, 2025 and 2024. Penny was not able to be with us tonight, but it's just a standard audit that they have to do, just like everybody else. Charles, you mentioned it this year. Alrighty. Oh, I'm sorry, my mic was off, I apologize. Next agenda item is the authorization to approve the Franklin County Sports Tourism Commission budget for fiscal year 2027, and I believe we have a representative with us. Sir, when you come up, could you please state your name and who you're with?
Absolutely. Scotty Tracy, Franklin County Sports Tourism Commission, and thank you all for allowing us to present tonight. Does anyone have any questions? But first, I would like to apologize for you all receiving this late. Our board meeting was last night, and I did not want to send it without their approval, so blame that one on me.
No problem.
Is there any highlights? Why don't you kind of present what you'd like to talk about? And again, we are sorry the court's just receiving this, so, but do you want to kind of talk about anything on this sheet here to the court?
Sure. I know some of the questions that the court members had was working with Visit Frankfurt, Frankfurt Tourism. We have a great working relationship with Randy. We've actually partnered up with him and with the court, with Summer and Michelle. They're going to be instrumental in the success of this Granicus software program. To date, just to give you all an example of short-term Airbnbs and compliance, to date, we're about 1/3 compliance on short-term rentals. And when I say compliance, that's with paying their transient room tax. It's also paying you all business license fees. So I'm not sure what your all's number is as far as business license, but I know as far as the transient room tax, we're at about 1/3 in collecting that fee. So again, with Summer's help and Michelle and the court adding on that additional employee, that's going to be great. Total number, 210 short-term have been identified. Again, 70 are in compliance. Working with Visit Frankfurt, again, Randy, they have, and Mark, his board member, they've been instrumental with their support.
Scotty, can you talk a little bit, because I know there were some concerns last time, because when we kind of created the sports commission, we had made a promise to them that, with a certain amount of money, but I know you had a conversation with Randy and some of his board members about how they were going to handle that. So could you just kind of bring the court up to speed on where that is?
Yeah, absolutely. We met with, again, we met with Randy and Mark, and I know the court's desire was to make them whole, which I believe was $250,000 a year for 2 years. That was the whole number. We got together, we all realized that there was no way possible that was going to happen over the first 2 years of this. And if it did, then the sports commission would fail. So they know that, they understand it. They came, we met, we talked. They indicated that they have enough money to operate, that they're not worried about year 1, year 2, maybe not year 3, but years down the road, they may come back and say, hey, we need that additional money. You will see that reflected in the budget because they asked us to put it in there, because you never know when someone may fall on hard times and they have to collect. So we did show that and reflect it into the budget. So that's why that's there. Some of the exciting things that we've been able to accomplish so far is we've hired the sports facilities company. We brought them on. It took longer than what we expected it to, but there was a real focus and a commitment with the Sports Commission to make sure that local sports was included in the overall contract with this management group, and it's in there. They're going to operate leagues, softball leagues. They're going to operate up to U12 in baseball, because that's what the complex will allow. There is a focus now, I know with the judge and others, we're trying to identify property for soccer. You also got the aquatics complex, the community center. That's moving forward. But again, I think for the Sports Commission, the next big goal is to identify property and try to either lease it, purchase it, somehow, some way to get soccer going, because there's a real need for it in our community. Again, we brought on the sports facilities companies. Just to give you an example, they operate McCracken, and they operate the one that everyone talks about, E-Town. So again, I think this is instant credibility to the commission. that we went out and we selected this firm. We are committed to moving the programs forward, not only for you all, because we know that you all have a vision as well for a successful program and events, but you all want to see it here as well. Like I said, you're talking economic driver, you're talking tourism. As I continue to say, it's heads in beds and butts in seats, and it's restaurants and hotels. And again, I think everyone knows that Buffalo Trace has a desire to hit 1 million people, and I think we all want to see them achieve that. So hopefully we can help them get there as well. So if you all have any questions, please ask.
Squire
If
Sebastian,
I
you have
can
your hand up?
answer them, I will.
Yep.
Thank you,
Yep.
Judge. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, for being here with us. So my question is in regard.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman, I'd laugh at that. That was pretty good.
I knew you'd like it.
I know.
So with Granicus, the software, how does that unfold? Can you walk us through that? Because I think, as I understand it, our folks have access to that in the occupational tax area, and then they're gonna start mining the information that comes back and then kind of looking at like the 70, I think that you said were in the 70s that were in compliance, as opposed to the 2/3 above that number that may not be at the same level of compliance. And then will the court take that information and communicate with those owners, or kind of, just so we all have an understanding of how that unfolds and kind of how quickly that unfolds, or
Yeah.
timing on that?
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, great question. And the way that is designed, that was designed by the legal experts, one being the county attorney and the other being the board chair. Obviously, going through the occupational tax, you've got some teeth per se, because you all have enforcement.
Yep.
So it's my understanding that letters will be sent out. These properties, if you haven't had an opportunity to sit in and see Summer and talk to her and just kind of sit back and observe, this program is pretty cool. I mean, it identifies these properties from reviews off the internet, AI, off the Airbnb websites. If it's out there on the web, Granicus is grabbing it. So she has access to it. You can click on it. It's a map of Franklin County. You got, I won't say 210 red dots. Let's say you have 180 or 150 red dots. You click on that red dot, it tells you not in compliant. It'll take you plumb through the property and show you everything about it. So, but to answer your question, the letters will come from downtown, from county. Because again, that's the enforcement aspect of it, and both the attorneys felt that was the direction we needed to go. So, and again, that's a program, that software program was purchased along with Visit Frankfurt in a partnership, because they understand if it's successful, it benefits them as well.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah.
And I do just want to say I appreciate the relationship you and the Tourism Commission have now, and I think it's important for everybody to know. I know on Tuesday night, Summer's going to go present because they're paying for half of that, so she's going to go present, and I believe Mr. Tracy's going to go with her just to kind of talk about where everything is. So that's exciting. And so for anybody who doesn't realize, if you've never stayed in Airbnb or VRBO or something, you don't get the address. You know about where the place is. Okay. You know about where the place is, but literally until the night before, you don't hit. So there's no information on their websites that says who the owners are or anything. So that's why you have to hire a company like Granicus to try to figure it out. It's all algorithms and stuff. So that's why it's a little bit more difficult. It's not like going to a hotel and here's the address and this is where you're staying. It's pretty secretive. So that's all righty. Squire Dyke, is you have your hand up?
I did, thank you. I just wanted to thank everybody that's been involved in this. I've had numerous calls recently about our own kids playing ball and what's happening, and it's not good. Most of them are going off and doing travel ball. It just hasn't been going very well recently. So people are going to be really, really happy about this. I do wish we could go a little higher in age. I understand what the issue is there, but I hope that we can come up with something for those kids too, because it helps keep them out of trouble. But I just really wanted to tell Scotty that I appreciate their work. And I think people are really appreciative that the county is going to be taking this over and that this sports commission is in charge of all of this. So thank you very much.
Thank you, and thank you all for your support. Obviously, without you all, we're not here, so, now we appreciate you all.
Squire Tanner.
I have a question, and you can help me out anytime, Scotty. Down here on the bottom line, it says the TRT, which is transit room tax, $1 million. Is that all that tax money is coming in off of that?
Obviously, we don't know until we cycle through a year. We have no numbers to even judge off of. We're judging off of what we've got from when it started in July to date. So to answer your question, that is a guesstimate, is what that number is. But to give you an example, for the month of May, okay, and I go back and I say how important Summer and Michelle and the occupational and Richard with enforcement and how important this software program is. For the month of May, the occupational or the transit room tax fee that we got on 30% was $105,000. That's just 30%. So if we're at 60%, we're at $210,000. 90%, $315,000. Not every month is like that, but I think we could probably say anywhere from $65,000 to $70,000 a month is what we're seeing. And again, we're at 30%. So I just go back and say again how important occupational is with the new employee, with Summer, the partnership with the city, tourism. Again, we all get it. If one group's successful, everybody's successful. And to visit Frankfurt's, they want us to be successful. So to them, they also understand that if the transient room tax grows, we may be in a position we never have to pay back $500,000, and we're hoping that's what it is. So again, this program is very successful now, but the opportunities are endless if we can get that 30% compliance up.
Well, I do have a follow-up question.
Go ahead, Squire Tanner.
And look, it help, you're gonna have to help me understand this, because I thought I understood something that I might not have.
No, you're good.
There is no bond payment listed here, so where does that come from?
But we don't have debt. We don't have any debt at all outside of the sports management company.
There's no, we didn't have to sell any bonds for this project?
Well, that's on the fiscal
That's on-
court.
That's us.
That's
us.
correct.
That's
The
our
fiscal-
project. We own the property.
Yeah.
They're just helping run it.
Okay, so
Yeah.
the bond payment that we're gonna have to, that's gotta come out of our general fund.
Yeah, I believe per statute, they can help with it if we need help with it. So again, they're trying to get their feet on the ground and figure all their financing out, but there is an opportunity.
Yeah, we'll take it. But I mean,
Right,
we're
and,
improving our property. It's our property.
Yeah, and I think they're going to, but we haven't done any yet, correct?
Right.
Yeah, we haven't taken any bonds out to this point, Squire Tanner. We have the money that we've been paying for the construction up until this date, so we don't know exactly where we're gonna end up. So
Yeah, and
once
I also think when you think about support, when you look at the sports facilities company, they're in the process of getting ready to advertise for a general manager to start recruiting. You're looking at a payroll, from my understanding, is $500,000 to $700,000, $800,000 that we will pay,
Yeah.
or that the commission will pay,
Yeah.
that the court doesn't have to pay. So, again, I think there's skin in the game, but again, as long as this transient room tax continues to grow, everybody's gonna be successful.
And I think what he's trying to really show is the importance of getting everybody in compliance to play on the same field, because the numbers could be pretty astronomical and help support everything.
Yeah.
So it's just, all we're doing is asking people to do what they're supposed to do. I mean, at the end
Be
of the
legal.
day. So let me just reiterate, Squire Dykus made that question about local sports. So it's still the vision that Monday through Thursday, all the fields will be available for local sports, and the sports will be run through the sports company. And then on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, that's really when you're looking for tournaments and regional tournaments and people from out of town.
Yeah, I think if anybody has paid attention to the court and to the commission, they realize there is a commitment for local youth sports here, and programs, softball, baseball. We hear it. It doesn't matter where you go. We hear it. And to Squire Dyke's point, there are so many backyard travel teams popping up, whether good, whether bad. I'm not sure. I'm not here to debate that. But again, it's about the programs and it's about the product that you put on the field. And this group that's coming in to manage, if you've not looked them up, look them up. I mean, again, the one that I reference is E-Town because that's the park you always hear about. So, and to your all's credit, I mean, Lakeview Park, when it's done, it's gonna be second to none. I tell Charlie that all the time. They're gonna walk in with a wow factor and they're gonna leave with a wow factor. I mean, they're gonna get a great product, and they're gonna have a great experience in our community as well.
All right, what else, Squire Blackburn?
I just want to thank you, Scotty. I know I'm really impressed with the board you have. I know you had vigorous negotiations with the facilities management company, and because I knew what the numbers were they were wanting, and I knew what they got here. So I want to thank you for that. It's a lot.
Thank you. It's a total team effort, and when I say team, I mean the court as well.
You've got a good board.
Without you all, there is no commission. So, I know it started several years ago, and there was a lot of bumps, hiccups, bruises, stop signs, roadblocks, concrete walls. Yeah, but all that got
Decisions
busted
reversed
down.
after they've been
Yeah.
made.
So, but again, to everyone's credit, if you just look at this 30% compliance rate and you take the numbers that are being generated off that 30%, if that gets up, I mean, it's
gonna help
a
everybody.
game changer. It truly is. And again, we're already looking for soccer fields. I promise you, we've probably spoken to 3, 4 different individuals. Unfortunately, it's Frankfurt. We live in a teacup, is what I always say. There's not a lot of flat available land. There's just not a lot of flat land out there. And what is out there, it's either they don't want to get rid of it or they've got a price tag on it that we're just not there yet. So,
Squire Harris.
I just want to reiterate on this travel ball, I've done it for years. If you've not been to a facility like we're getting ready to have, if you've not seen the people and the revenue that will come in with it, you need to just go one weekend and stop in and just watch what happens. It's going to be an amazing thing for Frank.
Yeah. And I just want to remind the court when we, and I appreciate the court, doing this complex, but I mean, when the consultant said first year alone, 11.5 million back into our local economy, that won't necessarily be into our budget, but it will be into shops, restaurants, hotels, and all that. So I think it's all going to work, and I'm really appreciative of tourism working with you, and I think that's a great partnership, and this community is really going to start to see it. So I want to remind everybody that completion date of the complex is supposed to be mid to late October. We just got a bunch of rain, so Charlie, we think November 1 probably, something like that.
November's a good target.
Yeah. So we know it's going to be too late for fall tournament. So Scotty and I have talked. So I think that the thought is this fall will be soft opening, let the local sports start using it, kind of get our feet wet, kind of figure the concessions out, and so the management company is already pushing hard for tournaments starting in this next spring. So that's really when we're going to see the difference and the change. Squire Wisman.
Judge Quad, a lot of questions, of course, so we don't necessarily need to maybe go through everything. We just got this budget 19 minutes before the meeting started. Is there any imperative need that we can't put this on the 30th agenda so we have time to ask questions?
If y'all want to, it's fine.
I have a million questions, not the least of which is what we've brought up before about how this is going to operate, and we need some kind of agreement with our parks department and who's doing what, right, and who's managing what activities and maintenance and all those types of things. I do have questions about bond payments and payments that were, we sort of created this thing with the assurance that this park commission or this new board was going to pay for some of these facility upgrades, as well as, contingency in my mind. The only reason it was created was with the agreement to make tourism whole for 2 years. Regardless, that was our mandate. So a lot of questions there, so I'd like to put that off if we can till the 30th, so I can ask a lot of these things and.
Well, I can say
and
that I
inform
was
the
in a
community.
meeting with tourism, and they basically says, we don't need it now, we don't want it now, and I think it's a great thing. They're looking at
that's-
the big picture.
That's fine, but we mandated that to happen, is our agreement in the creation of it, and we haven't been advised any other way except for tonight, so. you
Yeah,
know,
our
I'd like
meetings
to
are
have.
posted out front on the window. You're more than welcome to attend any of them. They're at 5:30 on the second Tuesday of every month. Let us know when you're coming and we'll have you a chair and stuff there. But no, we don't, we invite everybody. So again, they're posted, everybody's welcome. To your point, when tourism looks at you and says, hey, you pay us the $250 today or this year and next year, you can't make it. You're set up to fail. So they're working with us because, again, it was about partnerships, working together, moving the community forward. They understand it, and I think one of the last things that the board chair said for them was, we hope that we get to a point you all don't have to pay us any money because the revenue is up that high coming in from the software project or program.
And
So-
I think that's why it was an easy sell for them to partner with you on that
Absolutely.
Granicus, because it's only gonna benefit them too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Some of your questions there, as far as maintaining who's taking care of what, that will all be done through the management company and who they hire, so.
Yeah, but we need to make some kind of agreement. I mean, there's been a representation that the new sports complex or entities looking for land, who's gonna acquire land for sports complex? Is that gonna be the court? Is that gonna be the new sports commission? Or lots of questions about how this is all gonna operate. We don't need to hash it out now because the only thing on our agenda is approving the budget tonight. And I'm saying I want to put that off to the 30th, but there's lots of questions about how this is all going to roll out that I have that I think we need to answer still yet. And I'd like to do that since, again, we just got this 15 minutes
Yeah,
before
no, I understand.
the meeting started, so.
And again, I apologize for you all just getting this. Again, our board met last night. I could have sent you all numbers 3 weeks ago. May have not stuck, it may have been different.
Yeah.
Our board has to vote on them, so, and again, we just got the legal, we wanted to make sure the legal fees were on there as well for our attorney, so. That's on me, that's on no one here, that's other than me, myself, and I, so. Again, we're more than welcome to answer questions. Anything that we can do to lift a burden off of the court, that's what we're gonna do. I mean, again, our goal is to be successful, our goal is to have, sports programs in the community. If the sports commission is setting in a place that they can go purchase property, the sports commission will go purchase property. Again, that's what we're here for. Everybody's got a common goal to move this community forward, or at least I hope they do. I know that we're committed to attracting and supporting events that generate economic impact and showcase the strength of our community. I mean, that's where we're at. We're all working together. I think when you look at Frankfurt tourism, we're all rowing in one direction. They support us, we support them. To your point, we're going next week to show support. And again, don't feel like you can't come to our meetings. Don't feel like you can't shoot us emails, phone calls. Everybody's got my number. I was a member on here, so my number hadn't changed. If you have questions, please don't hesitate to reach out. I know some of you all do, and I appreciate that. Hopefully, I've been able to answer your questions. Squire Wisman, you've got my number. Please feel free to call. Or, again, stop in, see us. We're here every second Tuesday of every month.
I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
A budget question,
Yes, sir.
strictly
Yes,
about
sir.
numbers.
Yes, sir.
Originally, I believe, I don't recollect any number, but I understood that there would be some excess revenues from these teams coming in and paying whatever they have to pay to play and their concession stands income. Do you have any idea what that revenue might be?
I have no idea.
So I know it's not in here.
Correct.
So there's not even a blank for it, so you don't want to put that in the budget. Is that just gonna be miscellaneous extra revenue?
I could have, Squire Tanner, and if I'd have missed it, I'd have been ridiculed. So there is no way in the world that I was gonna do that.
Maybe I'm ridiculed for asking the question, but I'd like to know.
No, great question, but again, I could have threw mud at it and hope it stuck, but I didn't want to do that.
I do know, and I attended the meeting that they had with the sports management company when they started looking at the project, and overall, they've only had one meeting, it was literally, a week ago or so. So they're working on those numbers, trying to figure out what staffing looks like, what projected revenue looks like for a complex this size. So that's all coming. Squire Blackburn, do you have any?
Is it gonna affect you or any timeline if we do table this to the 30th?
I didn't know, we've approved it, we're good to go. Yeah, so.
I'm fine. Somebody else have?
Judge, that was just gonna be my question. Can we move forward with that? And then I would also like, Amy and, our treasurer and our, auditor, maybe, I just wonder about the legal format and how it needs to maybe be submitted to us and if there's any changes that they may have since we just got it, so.
What do you mean legal format, just so I understand?
Just since we're approving a budget,
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any implications there, so.
Max, you have
Because
anything?
usually we're accepting a budget, but
Right.
we wrote it into the ordinance that we actually have to approve their
Well, I
budget too,
think it's
so.
for KRS, that's why we
Yeah,
wrote it that way.
so I just
yeah.
wondered if there's anything that
Understandable.
we need to, we just wanted reviewed
Okay.
if, in case it needs to be, so.
Yep, okay. Mr. Tracy, thank you. And
Thank you,
thank
thank you
your
all.
committee, because I know they're working hard, like you said, once a month, Tuesday at 5:30, I believe in this building, so anybody wants to attend, please show up. They're happy to answer questions, but you have a great board, and it's really good to see a bunch of people in this community, and I think you made the comment that kind of stuck in my head. Most of the people on that committee right now, kids have already grown, but they're still passionate about making things happen for future generations. And I think it's important for everybody to know and realize that, you know, when people donate their time for the boards, it's really for the good of the community.
Everybody continues to ask, why not us?
We're getting
So,
there.
there you
We're
go.
getting closer every day.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks,
Yep, already. So when we get to the agenda item, I just need somebody to table that for the next June 30th meeting, please. Charlie, do you have anything else? Come on, you go ahead and add something to it.
The sports facilities company, the management company that we hired, they've already been on site. We've had a couple meetings, of course, some of those been through Zoom and stuff, but they scheduled time already. I said, get to Frankfurt and come look at the facility. And they've already been down. And we took a tour, of course, it's got a long way to go, but we're already putting up concession buildings, there's fields being laid out. It's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice.
Super nice.
Can I?
Yeah, go ahead, Scar.
Thank you,
Sebastian.
Judge.
Yeah, I'm sorry, thank you.
I've had some parents who are, their daughters are in travel ball, and they absolutely cannot wait
Yeah.
to have tournaments here rather than all of the traveling, because all that started. As soon as school's out, they're already, bags are loaded, ready to go every weekend.
Yeah.
To
Yeah.
one place or another, to another
And
state.
I've done it.
Alabama, Mississippi, I mean, they go on Arkansas.
It's
They
heavy on the
travel.
wallet. Yeah,
Yes,
it's expensive.
it's heavy on the wallet, I do know.
But yeah, we're gonna be able to do that here in Frankfurt, so, and, I'm already getting emails from colleges all the way down to the 8-year-olds, mom and dad, so it's the sports facilities company, the management company that we're hiring, they're just gonna be able to get with those people and just plug them right in and set these tournaments up.
Yep. Good deal. Charlie, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Alrighty, next agenda item is to approve a new board member for the Paul Sawyer Public Library. And I believe Jean is with us. Jean, why don't you go ahead and come up, and good evening, how are you doing, and all those good things?
Great. I wanted to be here with the cool kids tonight too. So.
There you go. You finally figured it out.
I
That's
did.
great. That's
Yeah.
great. So I believe Maria Bartholomew is leaving.
Yes, she's
So
termed out.
We thank you for her time on the board, because I know that's a big deal to serve.
She's great. She's going to be moving to our advisory board.
Oh, okay.
So we're not losing her completely, just not on the voting board any
Well, that's
longer.
great. That's great. And tell us a little bit about the lady that we are proposing to the court.
Okay, I don't know which one you're choosing.
Sarah?
Sarah.
Yep.
Sarah Zurcher.
Yep.
Sarah is an attorney with the Public Defender's Office, Public Advocacy, Department of Public Advocacy. And she's lived here in Frankfurt for about 8 years and was looking for an opportunity to give back to the community, because as you can tell, she's a public defender that's really important to her. And so she chose the library, and she's been an excellent board member on our advisory board. She's served on the Personnel Policy Committee, has been very active and engaged, and uses the library. She has 3 children, so all of her family, they are heavy users of the library and recognize the importance of the library in the community. And she wants to be a part of that. So we think that the board believes, we all believe she'll be an excellent member of the board, and she's enthusiastic about joining the voting board, and we couldn't ask for a better member.
Great, great. Does anybody have any questions for Jean while she's here about this appointment that we're going to be making tonight, or anything that has to do with the library for that matter, since she's with us?
I'll do my best.
I just want to say I appreciate everything you all do. I know with the NCFL, Margie, I believe, has been very instrumental in that, when we have meetings at Thornhill, and she has a lot of energy. And everybody that I personally meet that's on your team, they have a heart of gold. They want to do what's best for this community, and that goes a long way. So it speaks volumes for you as the quote-unquote leader, and lead by example. So Squire Sebastian.
Thank you.
Thank you, Judge. And thank you for being here. I just want to extend a thank you for all the participation that the library does in the county activities and the events. You guys are always there for Easter. You were there for the county's birthday. Anytime we make a call, it's an enthusiastic yes to be part of whatever we're doing here. So that partnership and collaboration is absolutely worth its weight in gold.
Thank you.
So thank you so much, and we look forward to more collaborations throughout the summer.
It's important to us, and we enjoy it, actually. It's really fun to get out. I know I like it. It's a real boost because everybody's so positive about the library, It's wonderful. So we appreciate the opportunities to participate, too.
All righty. Any other questions for Jean while she's with us? All righty. Jean, thank you. Have a great evening. Or you're more than welcome to stay. Alrighty, next agenda item, I believe Chief Brewer's with us, Assistant Chief Mertz. This is authorization to approve the following for application of U.S. Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency staffing of adequate fire and emergency response grant program for the Franklin County Fire Department. Good evening, Chief and Assistant
evening,
Chief.
Judge.
How are you all doing?
Doing well, how are you all?
Yeah, we're doing great. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Appreciate it. So, as you said, this item is seeking approval to apply for the SAFER grant. It's for staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grants. It's a federal grant through FEMA, and it is designed to allow departments to hire additional staffing just to help meet the needs of the department and also kind of get more compliant with some NFPA guidelines. So the request is to apply for 2 additional personnel per staff, which will be a total of 6. The way the grant is structured, it's over a 3-year performance period. The first year, the federal grant would pay for 75% of the employee costs, and the county would have a 25% match. Second year, same thing, 75-25. Third year, the federal grant would have a 35%, and the county have a 65% match. Those costs include everything associated with salary and benefits. So that includes the firefighter pay, it includes health insurance, all the retirement benefits, Social Security, all that stuff. So we are requesting to apply for this and are here to ask or answer any questions you may have.
Alrighty. I'm going to start off because I'm going to kind of recap. We just received this at a meeting last week. Kind of talked about a little bit. Monday. Was a Monday. Wow, it was 2 days ago. So I'm very open with Chief, and I appreciate everything you and your staff do. I'm just speaking kind of for me. Some of my questions were, why wasn't this brought up in the budget if you needed 6 additional people? I think Chief said, they were waiting for a grant to come up. For me personally, it's a little hard just because it's a big number for many years without really thinking about it and looking at it. It's just, the committee went well. They talked about a little bit of everything, the pros, the cons, how they're doing without it, if it would increase our SRO? ISO. I knew I was gonna mess that up. Number, and I believe Chief said, you can't guarantee anything as far as if that would do that or not. Just looking at the pros and cons of doing this right now, for me, I have some anxiety because I think the court knows that Chief is leaving and we're going to be doing a national search for a new chief. So for me, that's a lot of things in the mix right off the bat, if this were to move forward. So just kind of want to talk to everybody about, how the meeting went. I appreciate him bringing this to us, and it's a complete decision of the court. Whatever the court wants to do, that's what we'll do. But it's a big deal. So I'm going to open it up to Squire Tanner. You have a question?
I do have one question. Has Amy looked at the total cost of this expense for the 6 employees with a match? And I probably understand that we would have to keep those 6 people once this grant expires. Is that correct?
I don't know if there's any guidelines that say you have to. I mean, it would I feel like it would defeat the purpose to not keep them past that point. Just a background on the numbers, so just fire department response. 2005 was the last time we changed any staffing levels. In 2005, we were running about 1,700 calls a year. We've more than doubled that to this point. Plus all the expansion with all the industrial parks that are expanding, additional industrial parks in the works, possibly all the community development, a lot more multifamily housing is being developed within the community now. It's more of a safety thing, and the goal that we're trying to obtain with this grant is to meet a minimum staffing average staffing of 3 persons per station. So right now we actually average less than 3 persons per station. And on minimum staffing days, it's 2 persons per station plus a battalion chief. So when you have those structure fires, those hard calls, and you're running a structure fire with 6 to 7 people on scene, it's very difficult. And we understand that this is a big ask financially. That's why we sought out the grant to be able to present it. And we apologize for the short period of time, but this thing come out in middle of May, I think it was, and the application's due June 22nd. As far as the funding, we did send some numbers to Amy.
She took off because when we
Yeah,
were
she
talking
took off.
about money, she's like, I'm out of here.
She basically,
Yeah.
her response, and I won't speak for her,
Shh, there she is. We started talking about money and the chief looked around and she was gone.
so.
She's brought back a bigger folder too, that
I'll
bothers me.
recap what she said the other day, but she can correct me if I'm wrong. Basically, that the insurance premium tax, wouldn't cover this. It would require general funds to cover the cost after the 4th year. And maybe before the 4th year, I'm not certain.
Yeah, insurance premium taxes are about 5.4 million that's this fiscal year. And the trend is about a 4% increase, and that's about 200,000 each year. But that 200,000 just covers the increases to the fire's budget. So I feel like all of the matches as well as the 4th year would come from the general fund.
So at the end of the 4th year, we're looking at $750,000 additional to the fire department's budget.
633.
Yeah, it was 6 something, I believe.
640 plus equipment. I think,
634.
plus equipment.
Well, we've not talked about clothing, we've not talked about.
So that was brought up on Monday at the
I
finance
asked
committee
lots of
meeting.
questions.
Looking at the onboarding process, we went back and looked at those numbers a little closer. You're looking at, by the time you buy their gear, getting them in the door and buying their gear and their pre-hire physicals and stuff, that
Training.
first year, you're looking at about $38,000. After that first year, the costs go down significantly. You're looking at kind of their uniform allowance, their annual physical, somewhere in the ballpark, $1,000, $1,500. If you want to average the life of PPE out over 10 years, that's roughly $2,700 over a year average over the life of it for each individual employee. But as far as like their training, we can send them to the academy at the Fire Commission. That's completely free, no cost. The EMT class they host at the Fire Academy, they do a 5-week accelerated EMT class down there now. Cost of that's $300 if there's even a charge. They're allowed to stay on barracks for the military down there. No cost for lodging, no cost for food. There's no cost associated with that now, as it currently is with the Fire Commission.
When's the next purchase of our next apparatus coming in? When do we do for another new apparatus?
So we have one arriving next month that we're carrying over in the budget, and then the next one would be 2030. That would be engine 7.
So that'd be right around the same time frame this would kick in.
Full budget.
Well, that's what I'm getting at. It's not that I'm against it. I mean, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've lived in those shoes. It's a timing thing for me. With your retirement, the new chief coming in, not knowing what his thoughts and whoever's thoughts, her thoughts are going to be on how they're going to run a department or what their staffing is going to be or how they're going to do it. It's just a hard ask for me right now. Financially, I'd like to have 6 more, firefighters per crew, but it's just a financial strain on the court at this time, to be the way everything's going. And I'd have to look at it really hard.
Squire Blackburn.
Chief, will this affect the insurance services office ratings? Like,
That was discussed on I can't give an
I
exact,
asked that too.
yeah, I can't give an exact, yes, this will move us up a class or anything like that. The two things that we went through our last review, that were noted was deployment analysis and the staffing levels, number of firefighters on scene. NFPA recommends a minimum of 15. On minimum staffing days, we have 13, including battalion chief. So the minimum staffing with this would get us up to 15 on every shift. So this would also dedicate 2 people who would be able to perform the shuttle operations and tankers. So even on minimum staffing, you would still have a person that could be dedicated to a tanker, or 2 people that could be dedicated to tankers, because water in the rural part of the community is our most valuable asset, and the only way we have it. And so a lot of those areas is to get it there ourselves.
I totally understand you guys going for this, and I do think it's a needed thing. But, you know, as Squire Harrod said, the timing's a little strenuous for me, and I just feel like we need to get in a good rhythm. Like, you're leaving, you know. If
I
you're
will say
staying,
this,
it might be a little different
I
story.
understand that part of it. I don't think there's a chief out there that would run our department and look at our department and say that these aren't needed.
Oh, absolutely.
Squire Tanner.
Even though I was misunderstood the sports commission who had to pay that bond issue, and the bonds hadn't been sold yet. However, that we're gonna have to pay that bond regardless of which shell game you wanna pay. And that's gonna come out of general fund also, which is what, 200,000 maybe, whatever that payment, whatever the bond are and whatever the interest, that's float too. And, you know, I agree with everybody here, it's well needed. I mean, there's no question about it. But it seems like, to me, that we need to put a pencil on it really and see how it comes out. And you already have, basically, you and Amy. And it could be a pressure on, it could be some pressure we don't want to take right now, but it might be, whatever the court decides.
Squire Wisman, you have your hand up?
A lot of questions if I can, Judge. You gave us some information, I just wanted to go over. The run volume increase from 2005 to current. You had 2005, 1,700 runs, and last year we had 3,590 with the same staffing over 20 years, right? So, Eric, I think you put some percentages together, 111% increase in the county.
Correct.
Did you break that down by stations anymore? Is there some outlier that is more than another for some reason, or?
I didn't break it down per station, and I do know that Station 9 Evergreen Road Station has increased over the last, since we built our new fire station, and they're just a 2-man station, so I know they get taxed pretty good out there having just 2 guys, especially with the like having the facilities we have out there for like at Morning Point and stuff. We also have quite a few lift assists at that station, and then including Station 10, and then out there at the Chenault Road Station, they've increased a lot with all the development out there off of Democratic Drive. So I do know that it has went up quite a bit because of those facilities, but I didn't get to break it down per station.
You gave me the NFPA standards the other day, and I was trying to figure out what the OSHA. What could you talk about? What I mean, they recommended 4, right, per station,
yes,
per shift.
NFPA
and OSHA standards are.
OSHA standards really don't say per truck. What their standard is on the fire scene, that we have a 2 in, 2 out rule. So if you got 2 guys in the fire, you have to have 2 outside waiting to either for RIT, which is, you know, if they go down, they have 2 guys come in there and save them or get them out. But as far as being on a truck before we show up, there's no OSHA standard for that. NFPA is what we try to lean on as much as possible when it comes to those standards. And it does recommend 4 per fire truck, per engine and per ladder.
So I asked you all my concerns about what our liability might be if we have a situation where we have an active fire and we only have 2 responding, and the wait is whatever amount of time for the rest of our crews to get there.
You'd rather have an automatic 3 engine show up.
Oh, what's the circumstance of, more concerned about our liability and not having maybe adequate staffing to initiate a rescue and or fight a fire simultaneously with the immediate response that we're able to give? How do we manage that usually?
When it comes to rescue, the 2 route goes out the window. So we can go in, if there's a rescue, we go on in and try to rescue whoever's in there. When it comes to actually fighting a fire, yeah, we have to wait on the next arriving engine to get there. And depending on where it is in the county, it could be a wait. But we have to wait for them to get there according to NFPA and OSHA standards.
I read through the entirety of the grant application stuff, and it said that awards wouldn't be noticed until September, so payment wouldn't come out until the new fiscal year of the federal courts in October, I would imagine. So there would be no way we would even be hiring any staff, I would imagine, until the new year. If we were to be awarded this grant in the first place, which in my mind gives us 6 months of a new chief in place, or nearly that. So, am I right in that thinking?
Yeah, we do have once we're awarded the grant, we have 180 days to hire on the new firefighters. And I talked to a guy at FEMA the other day when I was calling, asked for some questions, and he said that the money probably won't be really allocated until March or April. So it'll be March or April before we can actually start getting them in the door. So even though we'll be awarded it, we probably won't be able to have the funds until then.
And Judge, a few more things if I can. I was asking Amy about the insurance premium tax going up, 4%, $200,000 a year. But I'm also imagining we have an inflated budget right now for this year to buy a new tanker, but then we don't have anything until 2030, so we're $1 million plus less for the next 3 years on the fire budget than we are the current budget. Am I right?
I think it was 885.
885 is what the next engine is.
Well, let's not forget that's a bond payment.
Yeah.
The truck is not a general fund.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna quibble with the word inflated. I don't think any of our numbers are inflated on our budget.
My thought is this is just well, I know this grant wasn't offered last year. The federal government's been kind of up and down. I was reading how the National Firefighters Union, I guess, and some others, NFPA, really fought to get this funded again. And I meant to bring the award packet. Could you go over some of the numbers? I know you all looked at them and I forget them. That the Kentucky departments have been awarded. I know Shepherdsville was awarded like 1.6 2 years ago, I think it was.
I believe them, and then I'm pretty sure Oklahoma Fire Department
It was 1.2, I think I saw.
Yeah, I think it was around that number.
So it's always significant. So you all thought, well, what's your thought about this ask? Because this is $1,046,385. So you think it's reasonable for that grant program?
With what the grant is designed to do, we feel like it's within the parameters and it would have a decent chance of success through this process. We understand it's a big ask. It's a big task, and it's just, we thought the task or the ask was worth it for the safety factors and the benefit that we could see from our perspective, in the future for the department and the community.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm coming down to. It's in my mind, and I've talked to a whole lot of the department that there's a concern that we're not adequately staffed, and I'm wondering if you all looked at the what our current overtime looks like, and especially mandatory overtime, and how much adding shifts may actually save us in those costs. Because I've heard from a lot of our guys that we are having to, there for a while, especially we had a couple on in flux that we had some mandatory overtime that was significant.
I don't think this is going to really affect the mandatory overtime,
No.
just because adding the 2 staffing positions would increase our minimum staffing by 2 positions. So we'd kind of still be in the same boat there. When if we run into situations where we have employees who are off for injuries, FMLA, vacation, sick time, all that kind of stuff going on, it could still, you could still incur some overtime costs. But I don't see this specifically resolving that issue with the goals that we would have for this grant.
I feel like I had something else, but what I've seen online, looking at and researching this for the last few days, there's some feeling of hesitancy whether this grant will be provided ever again with some of the movement in the federal government, let's say. We all know what that means. Does anybody have any, Glenda, I don't know if maybe you had some conversations about anything about whether this will come up again. It was mentioned the other day that we've never applied for this grant before, right? So we always have the chance in the future, and this is just a grant application. This is just approval for a grant application. Whether we get awarded or not is up in the air, and whether we accept the award, if we're granted it, is up to us in the future to discuss and figure out, right? So, okay.
Don't for a minute think I'm against it. I mean, I've been in the shoes of the guys that are there on two on a truck and making 8, 10, 12 runs a night. I understand the ask. I'm just saying monetarily, with the way things are right now, I'm just not sure if this is the best time. I don't know. I've got mixed feelings about it. I don't want anybody to think that I won't support it or I will support it. I just have a few issues with it.
Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. Since we got this on Monday, I've been trying to also look at the push and the pull in the existing budget. And I know when our treasurer brought our budget to us and explained that to the court, there was some discussion about adding new things to the budget and how difficult the placement that would put us in. We also have had, and we know that one of our biggest sources of revenue, and we've been budgeting less of that, but that has already started to come down. So our revenues are being impacted, unfortunately, in this budget, and going forward, they will be impacted more. We are trying to plan for that. We really are trying. I think we're all grappling with the confluence of timing for a number of things. Certainly with new leadership there, I don't think anyone turns down staff that they have. But not knowing how all that's going to come into play, and typically, and certainly I've not been in the fire service, but I know when individuals are hired, I think the first few months they're off training and they are not available to us in that way. So I'm just looking at the confluence of timing, and timing in a whole lot of ways. Timing, we have to make a decision tonight because the application is so fast. It's coming at us quickly. Looking at the confluence of timing in regard to our budget and the conversations that we've had all around that, where, we really need to try to stick within the budget that going forward that will start July 1. Confluence of timing of funds that we typically get in the revenue side that are not going to be available to us, and trying to plan appropriately for that. And the confluence of timing of other activities coming into our community and making things across the economy more expensive. So unfortunate is a confluence of timing for me, and I am struggling mightily with it, because I think we all would like to add more staff in many areas, not just one area. I think we would, conversation I think went to how we're going to deal with the park. I mean, we've added parkland. I heard about that today. Y'all going to have people out at Park 421, and you're going to, what is your, so there's something on the horizon. There's this discussion on the horizon. We've just added someone into our occupational tax because we're hearing that they're going to be dealing with more money and they need to be looking for more money. Maintenance, we just hired somebody. So I'm just trying to figure out how the confluence of timing of all these things happen, and that is a significant addition of 6, where we've added 1 here, 1 there, and trying to plan for that appropriately. 6 is a pretty substantial. That's 20, how many % more of staff?
That's a little over 10%.
Yeah.
We have 53 staff.
Yeah, that's right.
Currently.
So for me, I'm challenged. And I think we're all kind of grappling with how do we do this, because again, unfortunately, it's a confluence of timing for all of us.
What other questions, concerns, comments, Carl Wisman?
I guess, Chief, one of my big questions, or sort of the monkey in the room, is that you're going to be leaving us soon. What do you think about an incoming chief in our current staffing levels? Would we be more apt to attract better talent because we have staffing at a level that's sort of meets guidelines nationally better, or is it, doesn't matter, does it?
That's hard for me to speculate on. I mean, you know, if I was looking to go into the department, yeah, I'd love to have 8 guys at a station, you know, and not have to worry about that kind of stuff. But, you know, it's all based on community needs. It's all based on size of community. So we kind of understand that, and that'd just be kind of hard for me to really provide my opinion on. So.
Well, your opinion, then you brought this forward. We need this, in your opinion?
I mean, I feel like moving forward with the development the county has seen over the past 20 years, and, you know, with as much growth as there is coming out of the ground, there's a lot of plan review going on every day, a lot of development going on. You know, it's something that I foresee needing in the future, whether it's through this grant or another opportunity, but it is something that I would see being needed in the future.
And there's been some discussion already. I know I've heard some whispers and talk about fire service being adequate in terms of future development, particularly around industrial parks and urban expansion and some of that in our county. What do you think in the next few years, if our industrial park happens? I'm hearing we're going to need a new department near that station or near that development, particularly if it has any bourbon or industrial flammable materials.
Station 9, if you're talking about the one towards the south end of Frankfort. Yeah. So Station 9, I haven't. If that does come to fruition, you know, or when it does,
It plays out a lot bigger than just one station showing up.
We can figure out how, if one agency, 1 or 2 people and 6, you know, 6 is just a big number for me, you know what I mean? But to me, this court is very fiscally responsible, and we like to plan. We do, you know, 1-year plans, we do 5-year plans, 10 years, that's all strategic planning's for. So I think all these things can be talked about. Tanner, do you have a question? Oh, I'm sorry, start with.
Well, Judge, that was kind of going to be my next question. This grant is flexible. It doesn't say that we have to apply for 6. You know, that gets us to 2 per staffing, or 2 more per crew, right? That increases numbers to meet some of the minimum standards. We could apply for 3, we could apply for 4, we could apply for 1 or 2 positions. I understand the grant's fairly open. There's also another part of this grant that I was looking at about recruitment and retention, that a lot of it is focused on that, so that we may apply to hire a plant.
Some of that is more designed, like there's certain areas of it that are designed for the volunteer side of it, and there's certain side, a part of it that are for the career specifically. I think the recruitment and retention is more geared towards volunteer departments having recruitment and retention of personnel, if I'm not mistaken. Ours is from the career side, for career departments like ours, it is just for the hiring of additional staff, new staff members that you don't currently have positions for.
I read all that, and it's meant for taking volunteer departments to taking professional departments to minimum staffing levels, right? It has multiple criteria for different pots of money within the same grant fund. So I guess my question is, if this court can't stomach 6, is there an appetite to try for 4 positions, or some other amount that we look at that won't hit the budget as hard, but this is free money through grant to take a next step that our department apparently needs. So if the recommendation is not for 6, what's everyone willing to apply for? Again, this is just a authorization to apply for something, and this is what the chief has brought forward to us as a recommendation, which I appreciate. Mimics exactly what I've been hearing from the majority of your department.
Any thoughts on that, Chief?
If it wasn't 6, then 3 would be because you could add 1 per crew. With 3, you wouldn't be able to hit that 3 persons per station, but you would be able to have 1 person, like on minimum staffing day, still have 1 person that's dedicated for tanker shuttle. So they may be able to operate the tanker to the scene, the second tanker would show up, and then you'd have one person dedicated to just driving a tanker to and from the fill site, but, which the cost, I mean, basically take everything, cut it in half.
Cut it
is
in
what
half,
it'd be.
yeah. So $315,000 for a fourth year, and hard cost to us to increase by 3 staffing positions. That's easy to stomach for me, knowing that we are doing more to ensure the safety of our firefighters and our citizens.
And I really do wish we had more time to bring this forward.
Yeah,
You know,
I mean,
it's-
that's the
it's
whole
the
thing.
federal
you know.
government, we didn't know if this was gonna come out in May of this year, if it was gonna come out in November. You just never know when the federal government applications are gonna pop up on you, so.
Okay, any other thoughts, concerns, and comments for the court, for the chief or assistant chief while we have them?
Yeah, I'm asking what our stomach is. I want to apply for this. What's our taste level to move forward with something? Because it's free money for 3 years. Why wouldn't we? And it sounds like we've got a good
Free money,
chance.
we still have a buy-in of $141,000.
Plus 360.
It's not free money.
It's still free money. 500,000 if we do three.
Any thoughts from the
3
court?
years.
600,000.
I'm not getting the feeling that anybody just wants to fire the fire. I don't think it's any disrespect to you or your team or anything you do. It's just hard to have something just thrown at us to say react.
Yep.
And I think we
We
like to
understand.
plan and not react, so I'm just speaking for myself here, but if anybody's interested in anything else like Squire Wisman's asking, then please speak up.
Judge.
Oh, I'm sorry, Squire Dykes, I completely, I'm sorry.
I was in existence?
Yeah, well, no, I wouldn't say that, but yeah, I looked at you a minute ago, I was like, I need to ask Squire Dykes, but I didn't, so, yes, please go ahead.
Oh, Jason. I understand that the timing of this is really difficult. I don't think there's anything that he could have done about that or we could have done about that. I also understand that the 6 is hard to stomach, but for me, community safety, firefighter safety is worth the application to see if we can get maybe 3 rather than 6, but something. I feel like, when it's something we really want to do and it's fun, we tend to work really hard. It's worth it, just for whatever that's worth.
Any other thoughts from the court, anybody wants to entertain?
I'm gonna have to math over here, because math. So.
I mean, I don't mind entertaining the thought of applying for it. We may get it, we may not get it.
Right.
At that time, you need to make the decision. I'm pro-public service, always have been. That's what I ran on. That's what I was, So, I'm willing to put the opportunity out there now. What happens when the cards fall, that's a different story. This is just a timeline thing right now for me.
Yeah, and it would be hard to turn a thing down if we did get it, and it's not a good look either, especially on the federal level. If
I understand
we're
that.
granted something and we turn it down, then we get dinged for that.
Yeah, regardless, I've had the same feeling as everybody else here that we probably need it, but I don't know how we need to go forward with this. But if you do and you ask for it and then tell them we was just kidding, we really didn't want it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's
We
a
get
good way to
blacklisted
go.
for at least a year. Yep.
And I'm just concerned that this grant may not exist in the future. If something we need, obviously, and this is an opportunity to get it, we may not be ready, and it may hurt a little financially. But if it's one opportunity to get, over $1 million in to meet a need for 2+ years, 3 years partially, why not try to go for it? And do we have, Judge? I seem to recall our PVA came in with sort of a rough discussion of like an expectation of so much increase in our property taxes per year, and I can't remember what.
I can't remember. We talk numbers all the time.
Yeah.
And I think that's part of the problem. We're kind of speculating on all this stuff, and it's hard to make a financial decision, especially when it's going to burden $700,000 in year 4 for eternity.
And don't forget.
Again, without going to like budget committees and everything else to really dissect things. Let's go ahead, Squire Sebastian.
I apologize, Judge.
No, you're fine. Thank you.
The other thing with the PVA is we all know that anybody can come in and they can contest. And so while you may have some target number that you think we're going to hit, you know, I, like many of us, have all heard that there are many people coming in and contesting, and it's not only individuals, it's businesses as well, large corporations who are here. So what we may think is a target number, we may be well below that target number. And if you all, and we all also know that these periods of contestment are multiple years. You don't turn it around in 3 months, you don't turn it around in 6 weeks. 3 years it may be hanging out there.
Yeah.
So, just,
Well, I was thinking
it's
just
hard
more,
to just say we've got X, Y, Z in our hand, because we don't.
I was thinking more of the PVA came in and was talking about just the property sales had increased as a certain percentage, and he thought for at least another 2 years, we were gonna have so much just on those without reevaluations.
Yeah,
I
and
can't
I
remember
don't
what the
know
amount was.
how
but it was-
our interest rates have affected that since he probably said it, you know what I mean? It's,
Yeah.
things were all over the place, you know. Squire Harris,
What's the loss from barrel tax ballpark figure that we're gonna have to make up when it's gone?
roughly $1 million.
And that's.
Amy, is that
1.5.
rough numbers? I mean, it's a,
It'll be more than that.
yeah, so,
And
I
that-
think it's a little more than that right now, but I know
Yeah.
she's not budgeting.
I mean, that's my, you know,
Yeah.
it's
It's
just,
gonna go down each year to get nothing.
Yeah.
Million.
And Chief, your current budget is
1,500, million
around
and a half, probably.
7 million, is that about right?
With the fire truck carryover, it's.
Yeah, well, let's take fire truck out, 'cause let's say
Yeah,
it's a capital
it's-
improvement.
It's, 7, let's see. Yeah, do you have it there, 7.4?
7 points.
That's.
Seven,
about
around
right.
7.4, yeah.
so it's gonna put us at 8 million.
All right, we still have the rest of the meeting. Everybody's thinking, and we'll see where it goes in the voting session.
Thank you all.
Thank you, gentlemen. I
Thank you.
appreciate it. And Belinda, thank you, because I know you probably helped them with that. All righty, next is authorization to approve resolution, county judge make application for Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for emergency municipality county road aid funds. So I do want to thank Squire Wisman for bringing this to our attention. So I think we all know of a fund that we put in for every year. I think it's 3% that goes into a fund for emergency deals. I was contacted about 2 weeks ago, Mr. D's roundabout. So was Mr. D's about one of our bridges out in the community. I think there's about 3 houses on the other side of it, just kind of put things in perspective. It's only about 30 foot long, but I think they closed half of it because of some bad joists. I do okay there, Belinda?
Yeah, that's pretty
All
much.
right, take it, run
Sums
with
it up pretty well. So, again, it's municipal and county road aid emergency funds, which we contribute to every year. We have the opportunity to apply by the end of this month for some funds that are remaining in this fiscal year, which might give us a little bit of an advantage over waiting until July to apply when it's open again with full funds, when more people will probably be applying. We can ask for $100,000 in state funds, which would require a local match of $25,000. And we're just asking for Fiscal Court to approve our application for the full $100,000 and then commit $25,000 to the project, unless you all would like to commit more than that amount.
Perfect, thank you. So what we have here is HMB, and I appreciate HMB, our engineers, because they were Johnny on the spot. They got out there within a couple days at our request, and they looked at everything. They've basically given us 3 options. First option is the whole shooting match to redo the bridge at roughly, I don't know, it's $256,000 and change. It's called 257 to round up. Obviously, only 100,000 is for the emergency grant. We'd have to pay the balance. The next 2 options are something they worked with our county road superintendent, just different options to get the bridge back opened. One of them is roughly 145-ish, give or take, and the other one's right around, 100 plus our match. Did I do okay, Belinda?
Yeah, one option they have, and this is a quick estimate,
Yeah.
at 140,
Yeah.
and then one they have estimated at 110. But I did confirm with Laura, who's the HMB bridge engineer, that the 110, which is what the road department is favoring right now, would get the weight restriction lifted and it would be fully operational.
Yep. And so really, what is before us tonight is obviously the RFP would have to be written. I would want a road superintendent to do that with HMB and Belinda, kind of exactly what we need, because I know Mike and his team said, well, we can do the drive around and we can help with the approaches. And there's some things on the table that they're willing to do as a partnership to help us save some money. So really before the court, really, I guess is what we're asking is, do we want to stick with the 100,000 cap and then we have to come up with the 25,000? Amy, I'm assuming since you're sitting right there, the 25,000 would come out of reserves, or is there other funds that they're hiding? I mean, that they haven't used yet.
So the road, the current budget, they have some funds left over in their salary line.
Okay.
So what I would do is amend that in
Okay.
next year's budget.
Okay, perfect. So there is some money in their salary line item that we could cover that 25%. So if it went over that, then we'd have to obviously dig deeper. Squire Blackburn.
I'm just shocked, you know, this bridge was built in 2015. You got major spalling of the concrete, missing traverse rod. Who designed that? Who oversaw the building of that?
Well,
We'll talk.
The issue is it was a bridge deck from another.
It was
bridge.
reused,
Yes,
but-
it
but
was
still.
reused. And the questions you're asking, I ask in finance.
Without, can I judge?
Go ahead.
Because I'd like to, there was a decision by former magistrates, former court, that decided to reuse a bridge. And I've been told, verified from multiple people in the community and ones that were there for construction that know, this bridge came from another part of the county, and the trusses that run over the top, the box beams, were already probably 40 or 50 years old. They were probably from the 70s. And we put up new approaches and put these across it and reuse them. And my concern is now we may cheap out, replace just a small section, and we may be in the same situation within 6 months, 5 years, or something else, because the rest of the bridge is this old. And Judge, if I can, just to correct something after some of the discussion, the 256,000 that they came up with was sort of a throw it at the wall, right, without any real discussion. We needed something to be able to apply for this grant. And with the conversation with the road department and some other finessing, I believe for a total road deck replacement, they're estimating the 140 now for the whole top, to get rid of all of those 40-year-old beams and replace them in kind, reusing the road approaches and leveling everything up. So
Well, I don't know if HMB
If that's-
threw anything at the wall, because they have a detailed estimate here, but even if the 137, you still have 80,000 in engineering and design fees. So that
Well,
would,
I thought that they came back and said, well, the road department said the temporary diversions, which they estimated 40,000 we could handle. And then in some place I saw an estimate that they sent by email that I don't see here, that I thought they talked about being able to take engineering and design fees down to maybe
They
35.
did on the second
Copy
option,
on everybody's desk.
but they're keeping it on the full option. So that top
Yeah.
one where that breakdown is, it's the 80,000. So it would be the 137 roughly plus 80. That would get us over 200. So that's for the kit and caboodle.
Yeah.
And then the other ones, Belinda, I'm sorry, I should let you answer this.
Oh, no.
They did adjust the fees in those numbers on options 1 and 2. Squire Sebastian.
Thank you, Judge. I just want to make a statement here about casting a dispersion on a court that was 11 years ago. We have no member of the court here who can say what the financial condition of the county
Yeah,
was
I was
at
gonna
that
say
time.
that too, yeah.
And that may have been the most appropriate situation to be in. So to do that, I think is
Yeah.
a little
I was-
disingenuous. So
I was gonna
let's
say the same
just.
thing, 'cause we don't know what was in front of
Let's just deal with what
them.
we know right now,
Yeah,
because that's
correct.
all we can deal with.
Not at all what I'm saying. What I was saying is that the rest of the deck is aged as well, and that because it was reused beams, we may have the same situation at any point in time. Because Mr. Dees, not to put words in your mouth, but you said you were under this bridge just a few months ago, and you didn't see this level of deterioration at that point in time, you told me. So it was sudden and somewhat immediate. And from talking to the neighbors, no one has said that any large equipment or anything has went over that bridge to cause a failure. And I've talked to all of the residents up and down that way to kind of try to figure out, does something happen that caused this, that they're just hiding, from us, or is it just a risk because the beams were reused and
Well, when
were
I
in the
talked
same
when I talked to
circumstance, so-
HMB, it doesn't sound like 11 years ago they had that weatherproofing membrane that protected the beam. So you have all that salt beating and banging on them. So I do know in every
That was a
option here.
discussion in finance.
Yes,
too.
every option here has the weather. So we protect the beams so nothing would be harmful in the future.
I just wanted to point out, I did talk to Laura Bowler again, and one of the big price differences between the 256,591 and the 140 is changing from a concrete deck
Yeah.
to an asphalt with the weather protecting membrane. So just to make you all aware of that, that is
But-
part of the price difference.
If I could, I wanted to explain that, because there was a question that came up in finance, but I couldn't speak in that one, that the state's preference now, they've told me over these pre-stressed, precast concrete box beam bridges, is that they like to pour a 5-inch concrete surface over top of them, and that's the recommendation generally for this bridge, because it's lighter service, lighter usage. They thought that the membrane with asphalt over top of it would be sufficient. They don't require any of that, but they recommend it now as a going standard to maintain these bridges in longer perpetuity, because our salt damages them, they told me so, and the trucks and things going across it. It just provides a sacrificial decking, if you will, that helps preserve the superstructure more so.
Squire Tanner, you had your hand up?
I'll retract my comment.
You retract your hand up?
I'll retract my hand up, yeah.
I guess my thought, without the bridge engineer being here or what the state inspected, is obviously the box beams that are there must have plenty of life, or they would have deemed them not good. And HMB went out there, they crawled up under it. I think that we have options in front of us, which tells me there's time on the rest of the structure. But again, I'm not leaning one way or another. I just need to know where the court is when we go into voting. Basically, the RFP is gonna have to be written. We can massage that any way we want. I think we have a little bit more time that Mike and his team can meet with Lori and her team to get the best RFP out there. Again, these are just budget numbers. This is not a quote by any means, so this number could go up, down, all around. We just need to know what the court is willing to do, because this was not in our budget, what we're willing to do tonight to move forward, and we'll try to get the most bang for our buck that's available.
Judge, I just wanted to, because I've done a deep dive, because this was such an immediate thing, so I'm trying to relate as much as I can to the court. Mr. Dees, could you told me initially when they inspected this bridge that they wanted to close the whole thing, right? And in your discussion with them and talking about how this was the only access for the residents behind it, they negotiated and were willing to close half of it. Do I have that right?
Well,
Just so
she
that-
said that normally they would close it, but if we agreed to use the MUDDC barricades and stuff like they said, being it was a 6-beam bridge, had 6 beams under it, and this was the 5th one, as long as we closed it over the 5th one, they felt comfortable with it. So she gave us a new weight limit. We closed that, where no baby driving on that beam, and posted a new weight limit.
Okay. So just more of my concern that they were sort of leaning towards closing the entire bridge initially.
Well, they was
And-
going to,
yeah.
until we agreed to close that third of it over that beam. Now, if that beam would have been in the middle of the bridge, they would have closed it. But where it was on the edge where we could close it, we was able to.
So it's really one bad beam, but they have to replace 2 to get to it, is that right?
Right.
Well, they're talking about replacing the outside one, because when they pick it up to move it to set the other one, they could damage it, so you'd probably just well to replace it when you're doing it.
And then just to make sure I had it right, it's about 30 foot long?
Mm-hmm.
16
and
by
there's
30.
what, 3 houses past it?
I think 3 houses.
Just
but there's a
residential
couple
homes?
Properties.
So it's not a major artery or subdivision or anything like that, just,
But I think if we put the membrane down on it,
yeah,
it'll help. It's got-
preserve it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
got to.
Okay. Alrighty, so what's the consensus of the court before we move on? Because really,
What? Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Sparky.
I guess it would be for Mr. Dees. The option 2, where it says you only replace the 2 beams, I guess that still put the membrane over and the blacktop and all that. Does that bring that up to a standard that would withhold regular traffic out
According
there?
to
The
KYTC,
school bus,
it
if you had
does.
to have one go across it? I don't know if there's any children out there, but there might be in the future.
Yep.
you remember what the original weight limit was on that?
No, I don't.
I don't either, I meant to look at that. Yeah.
I do not. I think we dropped it to 18 tons or something. I don't remember. Sure. Do you remember what it was?
It's been 18 since, well, it was dropped to 18, but it wasn't posted before that, I don't remember.
Yeah, it had.
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, go ahead, Squire. Yeah.
A school bus should be able to go across it, fire truck, yeah? At
And 18 is what it was brought down to.
Yeah, but I understand, so.
You figure if we replace a couple boxes.
Yeah, it was posted,
Yeah.
but I don't remember what it was for
Okay.
sure. So we took them down. and
So
put
if you
new
put
ones
the
up.
2 beams on there, it'll raise it past more than the 18. Is there my understanding it?
It should, according to
Should,
KYBZ,
something,
yeah, because they're the one that dropped it and told us the beams was bad.
But 18 tons will take care of a school bus and a fire truck, et cetera, that needs to go across it. Okay, if you're gonna haul concrete across there, you better go through the ditch.
There's no way. There's no access.
I think
to
they'll
this
be
place.
all right.
All righty, so, thank you, Mike. So what's the will of the court? You wanna, I mean, really, to me, they're gonna try to do as much as they can. Like I said, Mike and his team are gonna sharpen their pencils before an RFP goes out. So for me, my question to this court is, because this is not a budgeted item, and I understand everybody's pros and cons on this, and I appreciate everybody's comments, is we're down to money. And so if we do, if we stick with the $100,000 grant, which is up to $100,000, the commitment for Franklin County Fiscal Court will be 25, and our treasurer's told us that we can pull that out of a line item and it not affect really anything that we have in this year's budget. If we go above and beyond that, then we'll probably have to dip down into reserves. Just again, hypothetical. This is actually an emergency situation. You know, that's why it's before us, and we're really trying to get this in for the end of the month, because they have some money that's left over in this budget that they feel pretty confident that we would be able to receive. So if we were to wait till July, that's a new budget. That's a whole nother game. We might not be able to get it then.
There's no way of getting out of that match anyway, whichever one you use.
Like the court, Squire Wisman.
Judge, I wanted the option one. It's just a little bit more money, and these aren't hard and fast numbers. H&B will know what we have to deal with if we get this award, which I think we will try to get in hopefully this week and get an answer by next week, more than likely. If we're awarded or not, I'd rather not kick a potential headache of another failure and repair costs down the line. I'd rather go ahead and fix this once and be done.
Okay,
You know, this is likely going to give us a 50 to 75-year bridge, as my conversations, if we replace the box beams and use the existing approaches. I think that's gonna cost us a lot less in the long run to go ahead and do the whole thing than it is to piecemeal now and hope for the best later.
Okay.
So
I appreciate your, so basically that option would cost the court roughly $117,000. So a lot of that would have to come out of our reserves.
No, Judge, I'm talking
You
about
got
the $140,000, the
$140,000
$140,000 option.
Oh.
So it's not,
Doing some of the labor.
Yeah, but it's 140 plus 80, that's 217.
No,
No, it's not the 80.
no. The engineering design is 35 on this one.
Oh, okay, I apologize. So you're going,
That's what I was saying. They have re-evaluated their engineering and the whole cost of this thing after they talked
so
to us.
you're
in
at
that
option
third
one
page.
then?
Yes.
Okay,
Which is
so those are,
maybe $15,000 more. They may come in a little less. The engineering has not been done, right?
Okay,
That's
yeah.
just looked at it and
all
gave
righty,
us a rough
so
plan.
we have one for option 2 roughly, and then we have one for option 1. So,
I haven't spoken yet.
Squire Blackburn, we'd love to hear you speak. Can you turn your mic on, please?
Yes,
Thank you.
I'm in full support of the option one, the more expensive one. You know, I built a lot of stuff, and you know, speak frankly, you can shine a turd, but it's still a turd. I don't want to redo something that's.
You lost that.
I just did, and I might take some flack for it, but we don't know what's in there. You can't see through that concrete.
Yeah.
And if we didn't have spalling after the over 2 weeks of below freezing temperatures in the winter, and it just now happened, that's problematic, and it's an indicator that something worse is going to happen. And a bridge is not something you mess with. It's direct public safety. We got to get fire trucks over it, school buses over it. I think it's our responsibility to do the right thing.
Okay. Squire Dykes, do you have any thoughts, comments?
I do. I mean, I feel exactly the same way. It's our responsibility to help keep people safe. We don't know what is actually going on in there. I think option 1 is our best option.
Okay, thank you. So Amy, I'm happy to ask Squire Harrod or Squire Sebastian. I'm gonna ask Amy real quick since we have 2 voting on option 1 so far. So that takes us from 105,000 to 135. So that's basically adding, 25 plus 35 together. Is there that much money in the road department budget? So it'd be, 55-ish thousand?
I don't know.
Okay,
I have to look.
okay.
There's a little bit more, so whatever.
I'm sorry, I can't see her.
I'm sorry, yeah.
I'm sorry. I don't know the answer to that.
Okay.
I'd have to look.
I didn't mean to catch you, put you on the spot. I was just curious if you remember that or
There
not.
is a little bit more.
Okay.
So I can run and look it up if you want me to.
That might be helpful.
Yeah.
So, I mean, basically, let's say there's 30, then that would leave 25% balance that we'd have
Let
to
me go
get.
look that up.
All right.
I just want to clarify, because I'm a little confused. You all
Yeah,
are
I was
talking
about to
about
say
option one with a total estimated cost of $140,000. So that would be 100 from the state and 40 from fiscal court. Am I understanding?
We're
that
obligated for
correctly?
25 no matter what, so
We're- yeah,
15,000
So it would
more.
be an additional 15
Okay.
over what we're, am I
It's worth it to
understanding what
fix it
y'all are
right
talking
first
about
time.
correctly?
Right.
Okay.
So that, okay.
So it's
So
not
the
140
40,
plus
we're gonna
25
get-
plus the match?
No.
Okay,
The one-
perfect.
yeah,
There's a
140
lot of
is
things
what they-
floating around here. I just want to make sure
Yeah.
everybody's on the same, that's
And like
perfect.
you said, we can't guarantee that's what this is gonna cost, but that's our best estimate right now.
Okay.
Without having an RFP.
I apologize if I made everybody confused, so that would probably help Amy to know that. So we're talking $15,000 difference.
Yes.
Okay, perfect.
And I'm gonna text her
I'm
and tell her
fine with
that.
it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead.
And
Scott.
Judge, if I can, just a little bit more explanation, because I've talked to the state quite a lot about this. We don't have to have a hard and fast number or an engineering number, all of that comes after. We just needed a rough estimate
Yeah.
and sort of a comfort level, what the court is to apply for this money. And
That's
all
where
of
I'm
that
at.
engineering and design and total cost, all of that comes after our award
Right.
at this point, so.
I'm just trying to get a feel from the court
Yeah.
what they're comfortable with money-wise, and that's what I
Yeah.
told Belinda before the meeting. I said, we can sit here and look at all these options, but at the end of it, we still have to write the RFP, and we just need to know what the
Yeah.
court's comfortable with.
And it's emergency funding, but it's not an emergency situation because we haven't declared one, so it still has to go
No,
through the
no,
regular
yeah.
process, design and bid and all that kind of thing, unless we
We'll go
think
through
something's
regular
worse.
procurement. Alrighty, what are the thoughts from, we've heard from Square Dakin, Square Wisdom, Square Blackburn.
I think we do it right.
I'm sorry?
I said, I think we go on with the number one bid.
Okay. Square Sebastian?
Thank you, Judge. For the peace of mind and safety, that $15,000 is gonna get
Yeah,
us
yeah.
all.
I think we're all the
Not
same.
only the residents and
Yeah.
people who visit them, and there's land back there that could potentially be developed for more homes
Yep.
and or more things.
Okay.
Long-term benefit to us, short-term 15,000, a lot of long-term.
It's not
gain
even worth
out of it.
talking about.
It's
Yep.
not.
It's not gonna be cheaper
It's
later.
not.
No.
That's exactly right.
There's 250 acres actively for sale right now that crosses this bridge.
Gotcha.
So,
Okay.
Amy says it is available.
Yeah,
Okay.
I
Perfect.
just,
Alrighty, Belinda, thank you. We're
Sure.
done. We're good.
thank you.
We have the consensus of the court, and I think we're all on the same page. Squire Dykes, anything else? You're good? Thank you. All is well. Alrighty, so let me see where I am on the agenda. Alrighty, now Mr. Dees is back up. How are you doing, sir?
I'm doing wonderful.
I appreciate you being with us tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, so what do you have before us? So obviously we put some RFPs out. A lot of things have changed, not necessarily with the fuel or the materials, but the icing, because that went out for regular bid this year, so it's been a little different. So were you happy with everything?
Yeah, we put bids out for blacktop as usual, our salt beds, rocks, concrete, and fuel.
Okay.
And the only one we really had a whole lot of interest in was salt.
Yeah.
But they was only 2 out of the 3 responded about it. But everything else is really good.
Okay. So you are recommending, just so I buzzed, Amy, thank you. Sorry, I had everybody confused, so thank you for checking. So, on the, you have Robinson Oil on the fuel, the diesel,
Yes, sir.
which is a local company, so we always appreciate that. Next one, do you have in front of you? I'm moving slow here.
Yeah, I got our concrete is Harrod Stone.
Okay.
We'd like to move forward with them. Then our aggregates is Harrod Stone. We'd like to move forward with them. And then our road salt would be Morton Salt.
Okay.
We'd like to move forward with them. And then our blacktop would be HG Mays, and we'd like to move forward with them.
Okay. Any questions for Mr. Dees on all these RFPs that went out this year for Square Wisdom?
I just have a comment more, Judge, something we may put into practice. When I was looking at these, something came to mind. You know, the Robinson oil on dyed diesel is 4.5350 plus 3 cents per gallon, so it makes it an odd number. With the phasing out of the penny, we might want to put in a clause in our contracts in the future that the total aggregate of something we're going to be billed is rounded up. You know, all the pennies are being rounded up and down now. If it ever applies, that the total unit of purchase is to be rounded up instead of the individual units, because that could drastically change the price.
Yeah.
Probably not applicable to this at all, but just came to mind that something we may want to put a clause in about.
If you come down at the end of the month when we get the big bill, you know, how that's handled, you know, so, okay. So Mike, any surprises on all these? I mean, I think you were very happy with the salt prices. We were very concerned because, you know, Keiko's run this forever, and we went on a private market this year, so that was great news. And, Squire Blackburn.
Mike, do you have any understanding or reason why there's only a penny difference in dyed and undyed diesel?
Because
it's usually a lot bigger gap.
There is a.
I'm gonna be honest with you, he's a local company, and he really takes care of us. That's the reason. There's not much in it.
I got you.
Yeah, because basically, if you go to the store, you know, it's $75 or $1 difference.
Yeah,
you
sometimes
know,
it's
between
more,
the two.
yeah.
And this is an unsure commodity. I mean,
So for us, it really is to our benefit.
Yeah.
It's $5.50
It's a
a
good thing.
Yeah. Alrighty, anything else from the court for Mr. Dees before he goes home?
Thank you, guys.
That was your cue, baby. Get out there. Yeah. Alrighty. Next, I believe Amy's with us. Our treasurer's coming back up. Amy, thank you for being with us tonight.
So this is the second reading of our fiscal year 26-27 budget. It has gone through the Department of Local Government, and they've approved it as to form classification.
Alrighty, any concerns, comments for Amy on our budget?
We better pass it before we change it again.
Again, I just want to say thank you to you and the Finance Committee. Again, I think every year's getting better and better. We work hard, we put a lot of time in, we're very thoughtful, we're very thorough. We don't throw numbers at anything. We're very specific in exactly what we do. So I just want to say thank you from me to you, and hopefully the court to you, because it's a big deal. So thank you very much for doing such a great job again this year.
Yeah, there's many people that work on this with me. So
Yep, absolutely. It's a team effort. Next is Treasurer's Report.
Yes, and I have the report for the 11 months ending May 31st. Receipts are at 44.1 million. Expenditures at 45.2, adding in the fund balance as of June 30th of 25 of 29.6 million. That leaves us with a balance of 28.5 million. And I also have the revenues and the expenses as of June 5th in your packet.
All right, does anybody have any questions for our treasurer on our treasurer's report tonight? Squire Westman?
Actually, Amy, I should have asked you the other day, is there anything that we need to be cognizant of that's still outstanding? I was looking at all the percentages throughout the whole budget, and some of them are still extremely low for usage of the year. Is there anything that is still outstanding that we expect to come in the next 20 days that will drastically alter any of these?
Is there one that you're in particular that's your question?
I can't remember at this point going through it all. I just thought maybe there was.
I do have some that I'm waiting on.
Okay.
Potentially, if you don't, one is the fire truck, which we feel like that's going to be next fiscal year. Also, the PDI grant payment, which is probably I'm going to have to amend that in at the first of the fiscal year if we don't get that in the next couple of weeks.
Any word on that then? The closing out the budget year and we haven't got the money for that? Okay.
I know it's in the process.
Okay.
That's all I know.
Thanks.
All right, Amy, I'm sorry, Squire. You're fine. Go ahead, Squire Sebastian.
But there's a considerable amount that remains encumbered for a lot of these, so it's not like it's gonna just drop out of the sky on us. Because there's a considerable amount that continues to be encumbered, which just means it's held there for the balance of
Right, and you'll see that the very last.
Yep.
Last day of the month, we'll have a court, do those final bills.
Alrighty, next, budget transfers.
Several budget transfers just to align the individual line budgets with the approved expenditures.
And all these are within the budget, they're just money being moved around.
Just moving
Yep.
from one line item to another.
Yep. Any questions for treasurer on this line item? Agenda item, I mean, sorry. All right, Amy, keep rolling.
And I have, we have a CDR that is maturing today with interest of $46,000. And I'd like to request the court to authorize opening a $2 million 6-month CD at the best rate and term and until the funds are needed.
I'm not even gonna look. I know he has his hand up.
I don't have.
Oh.
Whatever I said last time, I had 46.
Add 46 to it?
That's a great answer.
Great answer.
That's great.
Thank you so much.
Great question, Scar Blackburn. Didn't see that one coming tonight.
That's too fun.
Alrighty. Alrighty. Next one is the advertising.
Yes, this is the authorization to advertise for the fiscal year 26 audit services. The fiscal year 25 is being done by the state, and I've requested 26, and the state has said that we can go private for fiscal year 26. So I'd like to put this out to bid to see what our options are and the cost. And of course, I won't bid this until the fiscal year 25 is complete, and I don't know when that, it's in review right now.
Okay. Any questions for Amy on this agenda item?
I'm just wondering, maybe do you know what was the last time we bid out these services? Seems like it's been the same.
I believe it was 2019.
Okay, so could be a while. Thanks.
Squire Tanner.
I got a couple of questions. One of them, is there a list provided by the states that's acceptable to them?
Yes.
So we have to pick somebody that will submit letters to those people and ask them to bid. Is that the way that works?
Yes.
Are all of them in town here, or are they outside the city, everywhere located? Where's the location?
They're throughout the state.
Throughout the state, okay.
Any other questions for Amy on this agenda item? Amy, again, thank you. Appreciate everything you do for us. Next agenda item is payment of claims. Does anybody have any questions for Kim on claims that are to be paid? Alrighty, seeing none. Authorization to go into closed session per KRS 61.8101F, discussions or hearings which might lead to the appointment, discipline, or dismissal of an individual employee.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We're in closed session.
session?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. We're in open court. Thank you. Other business. Does anybody have any other business tonight? I know we had a couple agenda items after this, but does anybody have any other business? Already seeing none. This next one is authorization to reject the bid for exterior painting. I can speak on that one real quickly. After our last court meeting, there was a lot of uncertainty where the bids were and who, what, where. I contacted the Historic Preservation Office. They came here, met with us, met with me. He has some different angles he thought we should go with the whole RFP thing. So we set a meeting up for next week to have Greg in it. So at this time, we would just like to pull the bid because it's going to change. And that's kind of where we are. So that's this agenda item. So does anybody have any Squire Wisdom?
Just to state, there is a city grant application, grant pool that is coming available that we're eligible for too, to potentially do all this work.
Yep.
Maybe in full, so.
Yep. We've, thank you for bringing that up. Yes, I know that, and then the state has their 20% grant also. Anything we spend, we get 20% tax credit back. So yes, we are on that. So that agenda item is just to pull that bid, but that's why we're pulling it, because the new one's going to change. The next one is the property that we discussed in the last meeting. Going ahead and purchasing that, and you all have that in front of you. That will be added on to our affordable housing project. Does anybody have any questions on this agenda item? Alrighty. Court's okay with it. We're going to go ahead and roll into the voting session. So clerk, please call roll.
Squire Sebastian. Here. Squire Blackburn.
Present.
Squire Dykus. Here. Squire Harrod.
Here.
Squire Tanner.
Here.
Squire Westman.
Present.
Judge Mueller.
Present. Thank you, clerk. Authorization for approval of the minutes from the regular meeting of May 27th, 2026.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve the Adam Chemical Inc. agreement for water treatment.
So moved.
Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the sheriff's additional 2025 excess fees.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the sheriff's 2024 APA audit excess fees.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the county attorney's 2025 excess fees.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. This is the second reading and approval of amending the ordinance 7-2002 and 8-2000 series relating to the fiscal court filing fees in Franklin County, Kentucky.
So moved.
Second.
Did you get that, clerk?
No.
I think it's Squire Tanner. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to receive the Capital Community Economic Industrial Development Authority, DBA Kentucky Capital Development Corporation audited financial statements June 30th, 2025 and 2024.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes.
Judge,
Go ahead,
go
Scott.
ahead. You
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'd like to ask that we table item number 9 and revisit it at our 30th meeting.
Alrighty, so going to June 30th meeting. Do I have a second for that request?
Second.
Seconded by Squire Wisman. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Thank you, court. That passes, so we will table that to the June 30th. Authorization to approve the board appointment of Sarah Zerker to Paul Sawyer Public Library Board with term ending June 30th, 2030.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the filing of an application to the U.S. Department of Homeland Security Federal Emergency Management Agency staffing for adequate fire and emergency response grant program for the Franklin County Fire Department.
Judge.
That, Judge,
Squire Tanner?
I'd like to offer a change to that resolution and offer suggest change it from 6 to 3 people.
Okay.
And if I need to make a formal motion to amend that proposal, I will.
Okay. Mr. County Attorney, is that okay if we just change the number of the applicants that he's requesting? Do I have a second for that motion?
Second.
Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
Squire Harris?
It's very important that we protect the citizens of this county the best that we can and best we can afford, and that we need to move forward with trying to do the best we can.
Okay, so we have a motion on the table and it's been seconded to apply for the grant for 3 full-time fire emergency response personnel, so,
I'll call the question.
perfect. Clerk, please call roll on this agenda item.
Squire Sebastian?
Yes.
Squire Blackburn?
Yes.
Squire Dykus?
Yes.
Squire Harrod?
Yes.
Squire Tanner?
Yes.
Squire Wisman?
Yes.
Judge Mueller?
Yes, thank you, clerk, and thank you, court. Motion passes. Authorization to approve a resolution authorizing the county judge executive to make an application to the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet for emergency municipality and county road aid funds.
Move to approve.
Do I need to?
Second.
Okay, so Max, in this, we need to state an amount, like which option, how should I do that? We could do up to, so that'd be 40,000? Right?
Yes.
Is that where we were, right?
Yes.
40,000?
I really think that should come back once we're awarded the 100,000 or not, and then we can, it doesn't specifically.
Doesn't matter, we're just
say it
applying
here.
for it,
Yeah.
so we don't have to put our commitment to it, or? I
But
just want to make
it's
sure I
20
get
The match is 25%, so if we apply, that's
25 just to 100.
to 100.
Yes.
And then
It will be
we
additional.
would have to have any overage, so can we amend the motion, because it is pretty vague?
That's what I was
to-
getting at. Up to, or?
Up to, do the 25,000 and then up to 25 more thousand, 25%, and then up to 25 more thousand on top of that 25.
15,000 or 25 more thousand?
It's 15.
I'm
She's going,
I see what you're saying.
I'm going a little higher
I just wanna make
because
sure I understand.
as
And that
we
would
all
change it to
discussed,
20%, yeah.
as we all discussed, it's,
That number's up in the air.
safety is a thing.
Yep.
Is that,
How you want to do it?
Or should we just put it that we authorize you to apply and authorize the required match, and then leave it else?
And then when it comes back to us, we'll have to approve it.
I think that's the best way to do it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to approve it anyways.
Yeah, I mean, because you're going to have to approve the amount, so
Yeah.
you're just applying for it on the
Okay,
front
so we're
end.
saying we're gonna
What
provide
are
the
the-
match right now.
Yeah.
Right, okay, Blender's shaking her head, okay. Okay,
But not-
sorry if I messed that up, I just wanna make sure everybody's on the right, so, do I need to read that again, or do I have a motion?
You got a motion from Wisman and a second from Dykus.
Thank you. All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Thank you, court. Authorization to award a bid to Robinson Oil, sole bidder for undyed diesel and dyed diesel.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to award bid to Harrod Concrete and Stone, sole bidder for various sizes of aggregates.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Judge, I have to abstain.
Okay,
I have a family member who submitted the bid.
okay, thank you. So can I go ahead and Max, because that's going to be the next 2 agenda items, can I just go ahead and write it, can the clerk write it down for all those, or does she need to say it every time?
I would go ahead and do them individually.
Okay, let me make sure.
Do it every time.
Authorization to award a bid to Harrod Concrete and Stone, sole bidder for Class A concrete and fiber.
So moved.
second?
Did you get that, clerk?
Who second?
Squire Tanner.
Okay.
Okay, and it was Harrod
Yes.
and Tanner.
All those in favor say aye.
It's concrete, right?
Yes.
All those opposed say nay.
Uh,
Yeah, go ahead, Squire.
Judge, I need to abstain
Alrighty.
from this.
Clerk, did you get that?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Motion passes. Authorization to award a bid to Harrod Concrete and Stone, sole bidder for HG Mays Corp. for Class I, bituminous, I never said that right.
Bituminous.
With 2 minutes?
Bituminous
Yeah.
surface.
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. I don't know, I'm a
The
little
bid was
confused with
HG
that.
Mays.
Yeah, why does it say Harrod? I think
Shouldn't-
that's right, that's wrong.
There
It's
should
to
only-
HG Mays.
well,
I'm gonna
maybe-
reread that again.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it should only be at Mays.
I read that and I was like, well, that doesn't sound
That's
right.
not-
Alrighty, let's do this again. Authorization to award a bid to sole bidder HG Mays Corp. for Class I autonomous Still can't. I don't, you know, there's some words you just can't say. I don't know what. But say it again.
Bituminous.
Bituminous. Bituminous.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. But you know, listen, if you can't laugh at yourself, who can you laugh at? You know what I'm saying?
What's that?
I mean, come on.
What's that?
Alrighty. All right, Squire Dykes, that's a little too much laughing over there. All right. Authorization to award a bid to Morton Salt, lowest bidder for bulk de-icing salt.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Second and reading approval of an ordinance related to the budget for fiscal year 2026, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay.
Nay.
You're a nay? Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
Can I ask,
Go ahead, Squire, Sebastian.
Squire Wishman, do you want to share your reasoning for voting against the county budget?
Not in this format. I will have some things out publicly about why.
I'm sorry, I missed part of that.
Not today. I'll have some things out more publicly about my reasoning and my thoughts on the budget later.
Okay.
Alrighty, authorization to receive it passed, by the way. Authorization to receive treasurer's report.
So moved.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve budget transfers for fiscal year 2025, 2026.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to approve authorize the treasurer to open the following certificate of deposit for $2 million on 6 months on behalf of the Franklin County Fiscal Court to improve investment earnings.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to advertise for sealed bids for the FY 26 audit services.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Payment of claims. Is there a motion to deny any payment of claim? No motion was made. Let the records reflect claims are to be paid. Authorization to hire Davis Nessel Road as a Franklin County firefighter.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to reject the bid for exterior painting.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to purchase property located at PVA map 074-21-03-003.00154 Gale Street.
So moved.
So moved. Oh, sorry.
That's all right. You want a second? All righty. Did you get that, clerk?
Yes.
All those in favor say aye.
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 All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. Authorization to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
Come on, y'all, wake
Man,
up.
y'all having too good a time. We're gonna stay here all night. All righty. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Motion passes. We're adjourned. Thank you. Squire Dykes, hope you feel better.